Welcome to Standard Chartered Money Insights, a podcast series by Standard Chartered Bank that brings you market views and insights on the go.
Welcome to Cut to the Chase. Today is Thursday, the 12th of June. I'm Daniel Lam, your host for the podcast. The uncertain impact of tariffs on inflation. That phrase or similar expressions must have been on the mind of almost all investors this year. But still, they're not showing up in an obvious form yet in the headline inflation figures. So the latest US CPI came out at 2.4% year over year and core CPI at 2.8%. They're both below expectations. Goods inflation was flat and services inflation held steady at 3.7%. So the big question in the mind of investors now is the Fed going to ease? So while input prices are picking up, stable delivery times and easing labor markets should keep inflation in check near term. So all else being equal, the Fed will be staying on the sidelines in the June FOMC. But still, the market reaction is quite telling. So for example, equities disappointed with both S&P 500 and the US listed Chinese ADRs opening at the highs and ending near the day lows. So this is despite the conclusion of the London negotiations and further de-escalation of trade tensions. So to us, this is a classic sign of quote-unquote pricing to perfection in equities. Both S&P 500 and the Hang Seng Index are coming very close to some heavy resistance levels. So while we can expect buying on dips from participants such as CTAs and volatility targeting funds, we will need some fresh catalysts to fuel this rally further. But the bonds are painting a different story here. So the US 10-year Treasury yield hit intraday high around 4.5% in the opening, which is an important level, before ending near its day low at 4.4%. And technically, the US 10-year Treasury yield is pointing towards the 4.2% level, which also maps with our 6 to 12 month view to the 4% to 4.25% area. So after the sharp rally in equities, we can see investors having a short-term refocus onto bonds as investors start to build the narrative that the Fed will be cutting rates later this year. That is all from me for today. As always, if you enjoy this podcast, please don't forget to rate and like it. Thanks for listening, and we wish you a happy day ahead.
Thank you for listening to Standard Chartered Money Insights, a podcast series by Standard Chartered Bank. For more details, visit Market Views on the Go on our website or click the link in the description.